centered like this, I walk into a grocery store line, suddenly the lines are gone and I'm right at the register. How did I get there when there's people all around me? Being centered, God opens up and doesn't relate to normal life. Being centered on these things are incredibly ununderstandable because this is the experience that Krishna was trying to show you. Remember, the 4 arms of Krishna is Rāja Yoga, okay? Rāja is the beginning of all yoga. He has the 4 arms out here. Who is he? He is the love. Krishna is the love. These are the 4 techniques, okay? All these other yogas are to be learned to help you do everything better, okay? But if you learn this first, you can go learn that as if you were a master. That's the difference. So it's very, very important that you start with karma and go to Rāja. When you do this and then you do the Kundalini and you do the other type of meditations, you're going to come to a point in your life where you come to the top of the pyramid. That's what bhakti is. Bhakti is total devotion to God. You know, whether you have to live in a temple with robes and do all the rituals, that's up to you. It's not up to me. But bhakti is direct service to God. The only way I want to do is when I know and feel God. And if I do that, then automatically this right here doing this to you is bhakti. So, back to understanding karma. You know, what we're doing and to come to a place to understand karma. You guys kind of missed out on that. It's very important, karma is the first base of your pyramid. Is to understand everything about what you put in your body, what you hear, what you see, what you smell, what you say, your parents' births, why you incarnated, the planets affecting you. There are so many things in this creation of karma to understand. But if I go right to the center, I don't need to understand those. I become one with it. When the Christians say don't curse, I say, hey, forget about it. You get centered, you won't curse. The Christians say, oh, astrology. I say, hey, get centered and it won't be astrology. I can't use my mind to stop these things. I want to use me to center in with the energy that will stop these things. That's the difference. The Christians have lost their understanding. When Jesus went to the well and asked the woman, will you raise the water for me? And if you do, I will show you the ever-living water. That is the nectar technique. The nectar technique is the part of the flower. When you're smelling a flower, how would you smell it? I got a really great fragrance, right? And what did I say? Breathe love. Same thing. So now you're breathing an energy by your 3rd eye. That vibrates. Okay, you've created a vibration in your 3rd eye with love. When that vibrates, it exercises it. After a while, this is going to cause a secretion called nectar. This nectar goes into your body, eats everything that's not of your body, eats itself and disappears. And it is a fungus, according to Gray's Anatomy. Pretty unusual, huh? So, part of the nectar technique is your tongue. Putting your tongue, four designations, putting your tongue on the top stops and slows your thinking down so you can stay more centered. When you place your tongue backwards on the top of your mouth, it helps start to activate your saliva glands all the time so you'll never thirst. When you pull your tongue up behind your uvula and sit for days and days, that tongue will keep moisture as you're slowly breathing in so your throat won't dry out. When and if you become a really good yogi, you go and push there up to the top of your brain. Well, here's your 3rd eye. When you do, there's a tiny hole there, and that's where the secretions of nectar that is unlike saliva. It is either sweet, mine was electricity. It was like touching a 9-volt battery. Wow. We're all a little different, okay? So that's the nectar technique. What's it going to do and help me? Well, it can save my physical life. It can give me a lot of moisture when I need it. And the position stops my thoughts. Slows it up. Doesn't make me a runaway train. Okay? So you've learned 3 techniques so far, how to go inside and center yourself and stay alive. Okay? Now the most important technique of all is the holy name of God. It's a nameless name. It's the vibration that's inside you. That's the vibration that we all have, is love. Now how do I connect to it? Well, it's kind of right behind the breath. It's the breath. It's inside the breath. It's this, it's that. Okay, let's really get down to an understanding. I want everybody to let all the air out of your body and don't take a breath. And as soon as you need a breath, I want you to put your finger up. Okay, letting that, only give it a tiny bit. If you give it too much, you won't need to keep doing it. I want you to be able to keep doing it. Give it a tiny bit, just the tiniest amount. Tiniest amount. If you give it a tiny amount, it'll start to raise up, start to raise up, start to raise up. If you give it too much, you'll stop right there. You want to slow it up until suddenly it's done this to you. And you didn't do it. All you did is stop breathing. It created a full breath for you. That's what you have, the ability to full breath at any time by not breathing. Okay? That's what you practice. When you get to control that breath, when you get to control that feeling of that energy, it'll come up into your heart and you'll have orgasms. Orgasms in your heart, because it's a chakra. It's an energy center. You can have all kinds of orgasms in different places in your chakras, but nobody even knows who does that anymore. We have to reawaken to the things that we used to do. Any questions so far? Getting back to slowing your breath down to 1 breath every 4 minutes. It's going to give you 175 years. Well, I want to live longer. You ever hear of the Watchtower people? Did you know that they're so into the understanding of karma that you can live forever? None of them can do it because they don't understand karma, but they know it works in there with karma. They just don't know. That's what you have to do, is know. You have to understand these type of things if you want to go further.